guys, I'm Zainab, and this is my first time ever making a YouTube video.
Oh, the nerd fighters!
So this week on NFI, we're talking about loneliness, and when I thought of this, I thought of the internet and how that's changed how we view loneliness and what it means to be alone. Because obviously before, it's very easy to be alone by yourself doing something. So you could be reading, you could be watching a film, you could be doing anything really. But nowadays you could be completely alone. But because of the internet and technology, you can feel like you're really connected and that you're not really alone at all. And I know that I've definitely met a lot of people who they're very good at staying connected almost 24/7. And I personally don't understand this at all. Like, how can you physically talk to someone for every single minute of every day? Like, it blows my mind. Because, for me personally at least, when you're having a conversation, especially if it's one that you're finding, that makes you think and that's quite hard to process, you need to have time away from it to be able to, think about and really reflect on what you're thinking. And, obviously if it's challenged the way you've thought before, then you need to have time to process it and that sort of thing. Having said that, I think it is really, really good that obviously the internet has been really, really good at helping people find each other, because obviously you can find people who have really similar interests to you and people who think very similarly. But at the same time, that also means that you're not necessarily comfortable being, alone, in a sense, like being alone within a group of people you're not comfortable with or that you haven't become comfortable with yet. Because obviously, we're very, especially nowadays, we're very prone to just turning to our phones rather than actually trying to engage in more meaningful conversation and actually trying to understand where our similarities are rather than our differences. So yeah, I think in general it's really good to be able to become comfortable with being alone in some way or another. So for example, as I was saying earlier, trying to understand what's gone on or just remember what's gone on. It's really nice to be able to record that. So for example, I have a journal and I also blog every day, or I have done during the summer. And for me, that's really helped me to reflect on what's happened during the day. And in a way, I wouldn't say it's made me feel less lonely, but I think it's helped me to feel more comfortable in the fact that I can just let out my thoughts and actually understand them better. Whilst before, I think I've definitely, if not within myself, I've definitely seen it in other people where they're not quite sure of who they are without other people. And I think, especially seeing as though life is for most of us quite long, and it's people come in and out, and you're not always surrounded by the same people, even if you want to be. It's really important to feel comfortable in yourself. And that's something that the internet doesn't always help, because you're not really just with yourself for very long. You're always, even if you're not on your phone or on your computer, it still fills your mind sometimes, and it's quite hard to just slow down. I mean, I think that also means that a lot of the time we're not actually, like, you can be in a place, you could be in the most beautiful place, but if your mind is sort of cluttered so much and you haven't had the time to just slow down and stop and just let it go for a bit, you can't really be in the moment and actually see what's there. You can't appreciate it, and you almost unwittingly don't want to be there. And I think that's quite dangerous, because obviously there's a lot of situations in life where you can't control what situation you're in, but you can't control what situation you're in, but you can control who you are in that situation. But if you filled your mind so much with internet things, or I think it's more likely the internet, but obviously it can be a lot of things, even TV and that sort of thing, but if you don't take the time to slow down and process it and really appreciate it, then it can be quite hard to just be in the moment wherever you are. Because obviously, if you were asked to sit alone somewhere without anything else, like without anything that would appear to be outwardly entertaining, and you were asked just to enjoy yourself, would you be able to do it? I think another interesting point, as well as the fact that a lot of the time, a lot of people on the internet find that sharing what they're going through social media is a way of expressing and a way, obviously, of sharing their lives and that sort of thing. But what I'd like to know even is how good is it? Because obviously, if you ever met someone in real life who spent a lot of time complaining, you wouldn't really want to spend a lot of time with them. However, I think, like, I've definitely felt in the past that I feel more comfortable complaining on social media than I do in real life. You know, is it actually good for me to let it out on social media, even if people wouldn't want to listen to it? Or what effect does that have on me? Because I don't necessarily remember being or feeling much better having said it on social media. I just remember feeling like it was a place where I could do that. So, are we really dealing with our emotions effectively? Or is it just the fact that we feel, we find it so hard to be alone that we can't really tackle our own issues properly? So one more question for you just to finish off. If you could choose to unplug from the internet on your own terms, so on your own terms in the sense that you're not away from the internet, you could still go back to the internet if you wanted to, you're not like in the middle of nowhere with no internet connection. If you could unplug from the internet, how long do you think you'd be able to survive without the internet on your own terms? Okay, thank you so much for having me, and Teo, we'll see you tomorrow.